Hi everyone, so I'm continuing with the solutions for the CSEC Add Math May 2023 Paper 2, and we're on question 5 in the section of Calculus. So part A, consider a toy truck moving along a miniaturized racing course with an acceleration of A of t is equal to 9t squared plus 2t minus 1, where t is the time in seconds. Assume that the speed of the toy truck is measured in centimeters per second. Part 1. Outline how an equation for the speed of the truck would be found using the given equation for the acceleration, and that is just with 1 mark. So since we require an explanation on how to find speed from acceleration, and it's just with 1 mark, we don't need calculations here. We just need to explain how we derive the speed from the acceleration. So if you remember, acceleration is the rate of change of speed with time. So to get speed from acceleration, we have to do the opposite of differentiation, because if I were to use symbols, A is equal to dv dt, where v stands for speed or velocity actually. Right, so change in velocity over change in time. So therefore, if we need to find v, we need to do the opposite of differentiating, which is integrating. Okay, so therefore we have to integrate the expression for acceleration. So to explain this in words, so to obtain the equation for speed, we need to integrate the given function for acceleration. So therefore, we say that v is equal to the integral of acceleration with respect to time. So it's the integral of 9t squared plus 2t minus 1 with respect to t. Right, and that should be sufficient for that 1 mark. So let's go on to part 2, where for 3 marks you have to find the speed of the truck at t is equal to 10 seconds. So this is where we need to show our calculations. Right, so I'm just writing over what I had from before. V is equal to the integral of 9t squared plus 2t minus 1 with respect to t. So let's integrate. Okay, so using the formula, the integral of ax to the power of n is equal to ax to the power of n plus 1 over n plus 1. So the integral of 9t squared will be 9t to the power of 3, and we divide that by 3, plus the integral of 2t will be 2t squared, and we divide that by 2, and the integral of 1 is t. Of course, you have to add c. So 3 into 9 is 3. So we get 3t cubed. Of course, 2's cancel here. Alright, so this is the expression that we get for speed. Now, of course, c is what we call our arbitrary constant of integration. And for us to find the value of c, we have to assume that because it's a toy truck moving it along a racing course, we would assume that the speed of the toy truck initially is 0. Right? So in that case, if v is equal to 0, then that means c is equal to 0 when time is 0. Okay, so therefore v will just be 3t cubed plus t squared minus t. So all we have to do now is substitute when t is equal to 10. So we substitute 3 by 10 cubed plus 10 squared minus 10. Okay, and we'll just work that out on our calculator. Okay, so on our calculator that works out to be 3090 centimeters per second. Okay, because remember, if we go back up, they said that the speed of the toy truck is measured in centimeters per second. Okay, so that's our answer for part 2. So I don't want to break up this video into two parts, so let's do part 3 one time. So for 4 marks, find the distance covered by the truck between 5 and 10 seconds. Express your answer to the nearest whole number. So since speed is the rate of change of distance with time, then to find distance, we will need to integrate speed. So therefore, distance, which I'm going to use as S, is equal to the integral of speed with respect to time. So notice we're given limits here because we want to find a distance that the truck covered between 5 and 10 seconds. So therefore the lower limit is 5 and the upper limit is 10. So I'm not using square brackets yet. Let's substitute our expression for v, speed. So it's 3t cubed plus t squared minus t. Okay, so we're going to integrate that between our limits to find the distance. Okay, so let's integrate. So, of course, we integrate in respect to t. So integrating 3t cubed, that will be 3t to the power of 4 over 4 plus integral of t squared will be t cubed over 3 and integral of t will be t squared over 2. Okay, so between our limits 10 and 5. So let's substitute our limits now. So we have 3 by 10 to the power of 4 over 4 plus 10 cubed over 3 minus 10 squared over 2. So that's the first distance. The next part, we have 3 by 5 to the power of 4 over 4 plus 5 cubed over 3 minus 5 squared over 2. Okay, so I'm going to calculate what these two brackets result. Okay, so the first bracket we get 7,783 and a third, and the second bracket 497 and 11/12. When we subtract those two answers, we get 7,285, and of course we have to state that to the nearest whole number, right? Because it's 7,285.4, right? So 7,285. Remember, the distance is in centimeters. Okay, so that's your 4 marks there.